Hi guys, welcome back. So let's talk about this big story today. RASSIE Erasmus being suspended, being punished for his video that he published or allowed to publish. We'll come back to that in the Lions series. Now, it's taken a long time for this to happen, but he has been found guilty, if you like, on all 6 accounts. Now, I'd love to know your views on this, guys, and you guys as commenters are amazing. The way you are very balanced, not personal in your comments is brilliant, so please keep that going. Bear in mind, this can be quite an emotive subject, so I'm going to try and do the same exactly, not really talk about RASSIE Erasmus as a person at all, and just try and look at it from a fairly balanced perspective. So let's have a look here. There were 6 charges in all. The first one, quite interestingly, used the term threatened the match official, that unless he got his meeting that he wanted, he would release this footage which had insulting comments, abuse, offensive to the match officials. Now, I believe RASSIE Erasmus pleaded not guilty because he didn't actually publish the video. He didn't mean it to be published. Now, I think that's pretty hard to believe. Certainly in their wording here, they've put permitted to be published. He was in his South African kit. He had all the video replays there together. I'm not sure that was a coincidence. So I would have preferred he just pled guilty here. But anyway, we'll come back to that. Attacked or disparaged the game. Did not accept or observe the authority of the match officials. Published, again, things that criticise the manner in the match officials handled the match. Engaged in conduct or activity that may impair public confidence in the officials, brought the game into disrepute, etc. And they have found him, there's evidence to back up all 6 of those charges. They've been proved. Now, first of all, what was RASSIE Erasmus trying to achieve in this video? Well, he was trying to get the officials to look into the things that he believed were unfair in the first game. Now, a lot of what was in the video was really good, if you like. It was fairly correct. That wasn't really the issue. It's the fact that should he be allowed to publicly denigrate the officials like this in order to get an advantage. Now, at the time, I remember saying, I'm pretty sure he's going to come across quite a hefty ban for his actions, and I've not forgotten about it, but it's taken months for World Rugby to get round to this. And indeed, he has got quite a hefty ban from rugby, which is what I said in the first place. But my goodness me, it took a while, and it just seems to the public like he got away with it as such. It was, a pretty clear, open and shut case to me. Not what was in the video wasn't correct as such. It's you shouldn't really be allowed to do this sort of thing because it brings the game to disrepute, etc., as they found in this case. Does it really take this many months to kind of prove this sort of case? No way. They've got the video, they can do people, can bring people into meetings over Zoom. They don't need to take this long. I was expecting it to be done within a week or so. And of course, it's taken so long, so the tour that it might have affected, the Lions tour, hasn't been affected. So essentially, he's achieved his goal there. Did he influence the match officials? Well, I'm not saying that he made them biased one way or the other, but certainly in the next game, I was making notes and saying in my videos, the match officials were clearly treading on eggshells. They were responding to what was in the video. I'm not saying it went for South Africa, but it had an effect in my opinion. So he got what he wanted. He knew, he's a clever man, and he knew that a ban was probably coming, some heavy fine, and he's finally got it. And I'm sure he factored that in, that if he could help South Africa win in any way possible, he was going to do it. Like he said, it's a bit of a war. It's professional sport. You do what you think you can get away with, and he did, and maybe it worked. So is that a great example to put over, even though he's got the ban now? Not really. And actually, one of RASSIE's points was World Rugby just operates too slowly. He needed to speak to the referees a lot quicker. And with this process, it kind of does show that World Rugby is incredibly slow in acting. So it's kind of half proved one of his points, actually. They've got to be quicker at stamping on this sort of thing if they want to stop it. There were some charges against South Africa, and one of those was upheld, that they didn't then correct what RASSIE Erasmus said, or said, no, this shouldn't have been said. They basically were complicit in it, which isn't great considering, they must have known this wasn't within the rules as such. But anyway, What's happened to RASSIE Erasmus? Well, he's suspended with immediate effect from all rugby activities for 2 months. Well, this means, of course, for one thing, he can't be involved in the game against England, but more for 2 months, he can't do any strategic stuff, any planning, any meetings that he would have been doing, which is fair enough. But also, all matchday activities have been suspended up until the 30th of September 2022. Now, that's the hefty one right there, which means he couldn't get involved in the summer games next year. I think that's a 3-match series against Wales. I mean, Wales do love picking up these tough fixtures, but he wouldn't be allowed to be involved in that. And I think it's a good chunk as well of the Rugby Championship he couldn't be involved in. So, yeah, it's pretty damning. You know, is it worth it? Well, maybe. They got the Lions Series 1. He must have known this sort of thing was coming. It's a pretty hefty punishment. And there are some punishments to South Africa Rugby as well. A fine, and they have to apologise to the officials. So this was kind of exactly the result I had expected. And I think it's a good result, the right result. You shouldn't really be allowed to do this sort of thing. But why does it take so long? Anyway, guys, I'd love to know your thoughts on this. Does the punishment fit the misdemeanour, if you like? Do you really think it's right for it to take this long? Do you think maybe they did need to take this amount of time to get it right as such? Or could you really come up with that conclusion fairly swiftly within a week or so? Anyway, guys, I'd love to know your considered comments down below, and I will catch you next time.